Welcome back to the 4th episode of the Herald News Coaches Corner, sponsored by First Bank. Community banking gives you the win. The local team that cheers you on. Local bankers who know your name and celebrate you in all life's big wins. To experience the First Bank difference, visit 1525 Market Street in downtown Dayton or call 423-775-1522. First Bank, member FDIC. I'm Ernie Harris, and in this episode of Coach's Corner, I'm joined again by Coach Mark Pemberton, head coach of the Rhea County Football High School Golden Eagle football team. Welcome, Coach.
Glad to be here again, Ernie.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us for our 4th week. Coach's Corner airs once a week. You can watch and share the video on Tuesday evenings via our website at www.rayheraldnews.com and also on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages at Rhea Herald News. Coach, big win Friday night. It was a region win. It was a Region 4 or 5A win over Lenoir City Panthers. Your take on it?
Well, I mean, it was a big win. That got us a home playoff game in the first round of the playoffs, which is huge. Obviously, we want to go on and win the region and get, in the driver's seat as far as playoff games go at home. So, but yeah, that was a big win. It was a little sloppy on our part. We may have had too many turnovers, but I like the intensity of our kids. I think they played hard. They gave great effort. And we did a lot of really good things, and we did a lot of good things that we can build on, and looking forward to trying to get better this week.
The win puts Rhea County at 4-0 on the season and 2-0 in the region, like I said earlier. In the win, Rhea County wins 41-7 at Lenoir City on Friday. Scoring touchdowns for Rhea County was KALEB Martin. He got in first, Coach, and middle of the first quarter, with 7:51 left on the clock in the first quarter, with a 1-yard TD run. What do you say about your quarterback, Coach?
Well, again, I thought he played really well as a freshman. I think he was 9 of 17 passing for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns. Did have 1 interception, but I thought he played. I think he's progressing. As you could tell, if a true fan, you could see we were putting a little more intricate passing game in, and he was throwing it over the middle of the field some. So,
yes.
So we're trying to evolve as far as our passing game goes, where it opens up our run game, and I think that happened the other night.
I agree. Your second touchdown was in the second quarter with a 15-yard run by Dalton Hampton, which was set up nicely by your freshman running back, Ethan Davis, with like a 30-yard run down to get him set up on that drive. Yeah,
Ethan had another good night. Rushed for 227, I think. He's got great vision, great feet. We got to get him bigger and stronger as far as his blocking goes, but when you put the ball in his hand, he's very efficient and does a good job.
I agree. He had 111 yards at halftime on 8 carries. Had 8 carries in the second half for 116. Like Coach said, he had 227 yards rushing and 1 touchdown on the night, Ethan Davis. Your third score of the game was with 2 seconds left to go in the first half. You ran your hurry-up offense, 2-minute offense, if you will. Like you mentioned, KALEB Martin directed the drive. Several passes on that drive, completions to he found 5 receivers on the night, by the way. But tell me about that drive to get down to score within 2 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, like you said, we were in our 2-minute offense. Sometimes we're in a hurry up where we're snapping it quick. Other times, depending on if you've thrown an incompletion or what, you can go back to the huddle. But we were in our 2-minute offense, and I thought KALEB did a good job with it. We ran some wrong routes a couple of times in that 2-minute session, but we were able to capitalize with some other throws that he made. But I think he ended up scoring with a little bubble route to Dalton Hampton on the outside, and Jaden Goodwin made a really good block out there to free him up where he could get to the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, he hit Dalton Hampton for the touchdown, the 7-yard touchdown. Right before the half. Third quarter, third play of the drive in the third quarter, Martin hits Jaden Goodwin for a 64-yard strike. The fly route he just outran the back defenders for a touchdown, the free safety.
Yeah, that was a play action route off of our power sweep that we run so much, and we eyeball those safeties. If the safety's trying to get his nose up in the run game, we're going to try it over the top, try to beat him over the top, and we were able to do that. And it was a post route by Jaden Goodwin. He made a heck of a catch on it, and KALEB made a really good throw. And we had great protection. He could have stood back there all day.
That's good. That's true. Goodwin went up. Defender, I think, got a hand trying to go for the ball, but good concentration on Goodwin's part.
Kept his concentration. Made a really good catch. He had to twist backwards a little bit, but made a solid catch on it and scored.
Rhea County led at the halftime, 20-0. With that grab by Goodwin and touchdown, Rhea County led 27-0 in the third quarter. You scored 2 more times, Coach, in the fourth quarter with a 3-yard run by Ethan Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He got across the goal line, rightfully so, after 227 yards rushing. With 2:22 left to go in the fourth quarter, Martin hits Eli Johnson, senior tight end Eli Johnson, on a 3-yard strike.
Yeah, that's the same route we ran at Carter. You know, we get down there close on the goal line. A lot of people will really crowd us and try to penetrate gaps and bring their linebackers and things of that nature. So sometimes that frees our tight end up right behind them. So KALEB again made a really good touch throw. He didn't throw it hard. He put it up over those guys, and of course Eli made a good catch for a touchdown.
I agree. It was like mirror-like image of the route and catch at Carter in overtime to get the win. By Martin to Johnson, touchdown pass. For rushing for Rhea County, Ryan Young got 7 carries for 49 yards. Dalton Hampton went 15 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown. Caleb Martin had 2 carries for negative 10 yards. One of those, part of the reasons for the negative is his sack he took, but he got a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown to start the scoring. Caleb Odell came in late in the game, Coach, got 2 carries for 14 yards.
Really feel like Caleb's going to be a player for us down the road. He's got good vision, good feet, made a couple of good cuts in there when he did get the football, and future's bright for Caleb. He's going to be a good football player.
If he hadn't got tripped up, he looked like he was going to the end zone.
Yeah,
that 1 carry.
Yeah, he made a couple of good cuts on the first time he got it, and we thought he was going to score too.
Yeah, I thought I was down there on that sideline at that point in the game. Total rushing for Rhea County. Rhea County had 45 carries, 369 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. As we mentioned earlier, Coach Pemberton said earlier, Martin was 9 of 17 for 1 interception, 142 yards, 3 touchdowns. He found 5 receivers. Goodwin had 3 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Davis had 2 catches for 30 yards. Hampton had 2 catches for 26 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Pankey got a crucial first down, Coach. It was like a 3rd and maybe 5, 3rd down play, 1 catch for 12 yards. Keep the drive going.
Yeah, and that's really, you know, Caleb's spreading it around to different folks, and that makes it hard to defend. And, you know, hopefully our passing game keeps getting better and better as we go. That way, that opens our run game. You saw how our run game really opened up in the second half because we were throwing the ball around a little bit, and they took an extra safety back out of the box, and they went to a cover 2 look with 2 high safeties, and that opened up our run game.
I agree. Like I pointed out the other night, Rhea County had 180 yards rushing at half, so they finished with 369, so you do the math, I guess. Eli Johnson, I mentioned earlier, he caught the 3-yard touchdown for 1 catch for 3 yards for the touchdown. Total offensive yardage for Rhea County was 511 yards. Total offense for Lenoir City. Their rushing, Coach, your defense, let's talk about your defense. 15 rushes for negative 39 yards.
Yeah, Coach Mosier, you know, thought after the first 3 ball games that we might have been a little too conservative in the first half defensively. Because we've been better in the second half of every ball game. We've been a little more aggressive in the second half. We thought this week we're going to go ahead and be aggressive from the get-go, and we played a lot of man coverage and went after the quarterback a lot and brought a lot of different blitzes at them and things of that nature. So that's why there's so much lost yardage for them. We sort of pinned our ears back and went after them. So and it paid off.
That's true. It sure did. Passing, they did like to throw the ball, as we mentioned in last week's episode. They were going to throw it and spread it out and throw it. Coach Pemberton was accurate with that. They passed it. They threw it 41 times, 19 completions, had 4 interceptions for 169 yards. Their total offensive yardage was 130 yards. Let's talk about the 4 interceptions. Coach, 3 interceptions are credited to Jaden Pankey, defensive back Jaden Pankey.
Jaden had a good night. He's got great instincts when the ball's in the air, Jaden does. He's always got a nose for the ball, and sometimes he doesn't play his technique exactly the way we want it, but there's a little bit of a trade-off there because of his instincts. And he went and got 3 footballs Friday night. So, and he's been traditionally been a guy that's got his hands on the ball. So we're going to keep pushing him on those techniques, but we don't want him to lose that reaction time and that nose for the ball.
I got you. One of them was at the middle of the field early on in the game. The other one was on the sideline, also in the first or second quarter. The third one was on Ray County's 1-yard line. He jumps in front of it. You're only up by maybe a score or 2 at that point. If they had scored on that drive, you never know where the game would have turned out.
Yeah, I think we would have won the ball game, but that was a big play at that point in time.
I agree. Definitely a drive stopper for Jaden.
Yeah.
Jaden Pankey was this week's First Bank Player of the Week, based on his accolades in the game. Pankey finished with 2 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a pass breakup. Other highlights on defense was Drew Fisher, 6 tackles, junior linebacker, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. Drew was the linebacker of the year in the region last year.
Right.
So he started as a sophomore, just a junior this year, and he continues to do things the right way at linebacker.
Yeah, he had a few hard hits the other night.
He had a real good hit on a kickoff return.
Return.
He got real excited.
I noticed.
That's okay. That's good.
6 tackles, including a tackle for loss. Isaiah Sales, number 92, 4 tackles, including 3 tackles for loss. Coach, like you were saying earlier, the defense putting on that pressure. He was one of them.
Yeah, Isaiah sort of has appeared. He was off the radar at the start of the year. A kid that hadn't been with us for last year. He wasn't with us, and he's worked hard and has worked his way into some playing time, and now he's starting to, you can see the things he's learning coming out in him, and he made some really good plays the other night.
Yeah, he also had a sack for a 10-yard loss. Jaylee Elsey also getting in there. 4 tackles, including 2 tackles for loss, including a half sack. Him and your 72, Justin Woody.
Yeah, both those guys are two-way guys. I mean, they start on offense too, so it's a little harder on those guys. Now the cool weather helps them,
right?
Because they're playing a bunch of snaps. But those 2 guys were starters for us on defense. Justin was a starter on offense last year and filled in on defense, and then right. Jaylee started on defense, and then now he's starting on offense. So both those guys have played a lot of snaps around here, and the good thing, they're both juniors.
That is a good thing. Future looks bright.
Yeah.
In case you missed it, we caught up with Dalton Hampton, senior wingback, Friday night for a post-game interview with Coach Pemberton and Dalton Hampton. Be sure to go on our Facebook page to watch that full interview with Dalton Hampton and Coach Pemberton. Last week's Game Day Giveaway winner was Josiah Hurd. Josiah, you can pick up your Game Day Spirit package at the Herald News at our office at 916 Market Street in Dayton. Thank you for following, Josiah. We'll be back after this brief message from our sponsor, First Bank.
In the South, we perfect our local art. The art of conversation. The art of connection. The art of service. The art of community. Here, what you thought were lost arts are local arts. We practice the art of relationships. The art of creating wealth from things that are priceless. Because banking isn't just hard work, it's the fine local art of knowing what works. Come experience a great local art. First Bank.
senior tight end and linebacker Eli Johnson. Thank you for joining us, Eli.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Eli scored the final touchdown in Friday's win at Lenoir City, 41-7. Eli has scored his second touchdown of the year. Eli, how did it feel to get that second touchdown of the year?
Oh, well, I mean, felt almost good as the first. I mean, that first one at Carter in overtime, that felt really good to get the win. But, I mean, anytime you score, it feels good.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that touchdown at Carter, Ray County was tied in overtime, like a tight end drag route or middle route. What would you call that?
I'd just call it a seam, you know.
Seam, yeah, tight end seam route. KALEB Martin hits Eli for the touchdown and the go-ahead score and the eventual winning score at Carter. It's a very similar route Friday night at Lenoir City, where almost the same route, exactly.
Yeah, exact same play, yeah.
Tight end seam, 3-yard touchdown pass. His second of the year. How's it feel to be 4-0 and 2-0 in the region, Eli? Looking ahead?
Right now it feels really good to be 4-0, especially with that region win, securing that home playoff game. That was big. I mean, that first round at home, that'll be really good for us.
Very nice. We're back at home for three games in a row. This week we got Gibbs. You beat Gibbs last year, 42-14. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on this week, going into this week, being at home? I
mean, well, this is our second home game, so I mean that feels really good. But I mean, you've got to come out. We got to be the more physical football team, and I mean, they're not a bad football team at all, and so we just got to come out. We got to play our football.
Very nice.
Hit them in the mouth.
Well, Eli, I appreciate you joining us, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're now joined with Ryan Young, senior fullback.
Yes, sir.
Also known as BooBoo to many of his teammates. Ryan Young had 7 carries for 49 yards Friday night in the win over Lenoir City. Ryan, how did it feel to get the win?
It felt amazing, you know. Every win feels great, and coming back this week feels amazing, and hopefully we get another win.
Very nice. You've got 1 or 2 touchdowns on the year. Mm-hmm. Being a senior leader, how does it feel to be an integral part of the offense that's averaging, 350 to 400 yards a night?
It's amazing, honestly. Like, even though I'm blocking for the most part of it, I still feel like a big factor to our offense, and it just feels good having mostly positive yards too. Right.
Yeah, you're blocking for Davis and Ferry and Dalton Hampton. I mean, you're an integral part, like I said. A fullback sometimes gets overlooked by the work they do. They're a blocking back primarily, but they also get a few touches like you have. Like I said, you're averaging about, 6 or 7 touches a game, carries a game?
Those are about 8 yards a carry for the most part.
And like I said, you have a couple touchdowns. This week we have Gibbs coming in, your second home game of the year. How does it feel to get a home game after 3 road games?
Oh, it feels amazing. Just our crowd at a home game, it's just unbelievable. I haven't really seen another somewhere at Elway, somebody else have the crowd that we do.
I agree. Ray County fans are, bar none, some of the best in this area and the state, especially with our stadium capacity and our stadium. The venue itself is unmatched across the state, and I've seen a lot of stadiums across the state. So, Ryan, going forward, you got 3 home games in a row. Homecoming coming up, I believe, October 2nd against Ottawa. Gibbs, Ottawa, and then, Red Bank?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Do you have any goals for this season?
State.
Keep winning and go to the state.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any more thoughts on Friday's win?
Just feels good. 4-0. Hopefully take it to 5-0. We'll see, though.
Like you mentioned, 4-0. And Ray County advanced to 2-0 in the region. One other region game remaining is Saudi Daisy. Last year, had to go against Saudi Daisy. Didn't go too well, did it?
No. We had some unfortunate turnovers last year, and that kind of caused the loss, and so we need to hold off on all those turnovers.
Right. Is that game somehow marked on your calendar?
Yes.
Maybe
definitely
avenge that loss?
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan Young, also known as BooBoo. Is that right?
Yeah.
BooBoo, Ryan Young, the fullback, the senior fullback for Ray County High School. Coach, you're back at home this week against Gibbs High School, the Gibbs High School Eagles. Last year you went up there and beat them 42-14. The teams have only met once in Rhea County school history. Gibbs is 2-3 on the season, getting wins against Seymour and Morristown East. They've lost to Knox Halls, South Doyle, and Campbell County. What can you say about Gibbs and what to look for?
Well, first of all, they're an option offense team, which creates a whole new set of problems. You got to be very disciplined in your assignments and stuff on defense to stop them. Last year, we did a great job against them. They ended up later in the year beating Knox Central, who won the state title. I mean, they if you don't play them right, they can beat you. So we got to be very disciplined in how we defend them. Did a great job with them last year. They had a quarterback who's really fast. This year, they've got the same thing. It's not the same kid, but you have got to play assignment football against them. They could beat anybody at any given time if you're not disciplined.
Okay. Like you mentioned Friday night on our post-game interview, they're a much better team than what you've seen so far this year, possibly better offense. Better offense.
They've been scoring a lot of points. They haven't been quite as good defensively as offensively, but I know they've had some situations with kids having to be out and things of that nature here lately too. So who knows who they get back or whatever. So very dangerous team in my mind. I think they've got some speed to go along with what they do. So we got to be on our A game this week.
Okay. Fans kick off this Friday at Eagle Stadium, Bill Horton Field, Friday, September 25th, as it's 7:30. I want to encourage fans to attend the games, but if you can't attend, follow the Herald News Facebook page for score updates. We also put them out on Twitter and Instagram at Ray Herald News. Thank you, Coach. Thank you to our sponsor, First Bank, for your support of Coach's Corner and our community. If you're looking for a bank that cares about the community, they are located at 1525 Market Street in downtown Dayton, or give them a call at 423-775-1522. For Coach Mark Pemberton, I'm Ernie Harris, and we'll see you next week.